Right, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in on today's little video. Obviously, the Premier League predictions. And firstly, before we get straight into today's episode, it's just a bit of fun. Everyone, don't take it too literal anyway. And just have a little look on the channel. My prediction last year wasn't the best, but hopefully you all have a good day, everyone. Really do appreciate you taking the time out to tune in. And obviously, we'll be going from number 1 all the way down to number 20, obviously starting from 20th to 1st anyway. But let me know. We'll be going through every single team anyway. But leave me your 1 to 20 in the comment section below anyway. If you are watching on the repeat, most importantly, do always get involved. Chat will always reply to you as well. And if you are new around here, hit that subscribe button down below. We've got a whole host of Premier League shows as well. If you're a fantasy football fan, there's going to be a weekly fantasy football show anyway. We've done our first episode a couple of weeks ago on the channel, so keep an eye on that anyway. I know. And if you want to join the Premier League fantasy football with all the subscribers, this is the code anyway. Obviously BWN2EU as well. So if you want to join, pause the video, rewind it, whatever you want to do anyway. But let's get to chat anyway. Get your comments in. Just waiting, lad. Just not too bad, Andrew. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Loving the background, lad. Also, temporary spend for 3 days. Hopefully, you're looking after yourself anyway. And Alan's gone straight in there anyway. Everton 20th, right? We'll get straight into it, everyone. Alan, I don't know. I think you're being serious there, Alan. But we'll go for my 20th prediction for this season. As I said, everyone, if you're a rival fan, you're going, well, just a bit of fun. As I said, you'll probably finish a lot higher than I have placed it anyway. But we'll go with my 20th Premier League place team, a team that I think that will finish rock bottom this year. I'm going to go with Leeds United anyway. Obviously, they made quite a couple of signings anyway in relation to, obviously, Brandon Aronson from RB Salzburg, quite a high transfer fee for him as well. Rasmus Christensen, Marco Rocco from Real Madrid, a Spanish player anyway. Tyler Adams from RB Leipzig as well. Luis Sinisterra, I think he has picked up a muscle injury, so that's not really good to see, especially he was looking at one of those wide players for Leeds United. And the main two players, and this is why I've put Leeds United at 20th, really. Calvin Phillips, I know last year he was massively injured and he did miss quite a large chunk of the games for Leeds United last season, but it's Rafinha. Rafinha is such a talented wide player anyway, and he got quite a lot of goals for Leeds United, and heavily dependent. If Patrick Bamford isn't scoring the goals, I think Leeds will very much struggle to score goals in the Premier League. And the main reason I've gone 20th is the sheer amount of goals in which Leeds United did ship last season. Because they were very well, I tell you what, there was I know quite a couple of Leeds fans anyway, me mates as well, and they were very surprised that they didn't go down. And I think Jesse March, yes, he's an okay coach, but I think it will stand the test of time really this season. I think the way they play attacking football, they play attack football the right way, but over the last year anyway, even under Bielsa, I don't think they've got enough defensively to very much keep bay, to get clean sheets, most importantly anyway. To get to all your chat comments as well. Big up Ricky as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate, as well. Every single one of you. If you haven't already done so, hope you're all having a lovely evening, everyone. Make sure you do drop a like on the video. Really does help the channel grow. And I want to know your 20th prediction for this Premier League. We'll try and stay off, obviously, giving you like 16, 15 place teams. We'll go through every single position anyway. If you want to get a pen and paper, write down your 1 to 20, and then we'll go through anyway. And we'll get to everyone's comments as well, not just my predictions. But how you doing, Mark? Not too bad, mate. Hopefully you're looking after yourself, fella, as always, mate. And big up Ricky as well. But Ricky's gone with 20th. Ricky's gone with a 20th place for Bournemouth. Interesting. Andrew's followed suit with me. He's gone 20th for Leeds United. How you doing, Jordan? Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Hope you're looking after yourself. And big up, Jack, mate. And big up the Glasgow Red chats. John, obviously, if you're not aware, John has got a channel up and running. So give him a follow, everyone. Massive supporter on not just my channel, but quite a Liverpool community. He supports everyone, like all you do in the chat as well. You're absolutely fantastic. I went for 18 for Leeds. Nice one, Chris. But he's going with 18 for Leeds. But but he agrees that they will go down. Andrew, you're jumping the gun there, la. We haven't done 19th yet. What about Statman? Hope he's all right. I tell you what, Ricky, someone I will message him after this live stream anyway, because that chili was a bit mad. But John's gone with 20 for Leeds, so he's agreeing. And chat, if you are jumping in now, we're doing our 20th league prediction, as you can see from the table and the visuals. I've gone with 20th for Leeds United, mainly just for the fact that how you doing, Rob, as well. Mainly due to the fact of the sheer amount of goals they shipped last year, and they can't keep a clean sheet for the life of them anyway. And Calvin Phillips, it's going to be a massive miss on Rafinha. I think any team in the Premier League, if they lost two players of that caliber, would massively be looking around the Premier League and be like, where are we getting the points from? So that's 20th, chat. So write down, obviously, if you haven't already done so, we're going to be going to my 19th place, but I want to know what your 19th place is. I think a couple of us might agree here. I've gone with 19th for Bournemouth. Let's quickly have a little look in terms of the players in which they have brought in this season. Joe Rothwell from Blackburn and Ryan Fredericks from West Ham United. Obviously, he's a right back as well, but it's going to be intriguing. I'm very surprised, chat. Let me know your thoughts. That Bournemouth have not made a move for Nat Phillips. I know Jurgen Klopp has spoke over the last couple of weeks in terms of seeing Nat Phillips as the long-term successor of Joel Matip. But 19 for me, chat. Similar with Leeds United, I don't think they've got enough quality. Their Premier League survival is very much hinged on that man in your picture getting the goals. Dom Solanke, the ex-Liverpool player. Still can't believe how much we sold him for. Nice one, Bournemouth. But I just can't see them scoring goals. I know they got quite a couple of goals in the Championship last year, but you've seen quite a lot of teams come into the Premier League and the transition has not really been 100% there. As I said, all the goals, I just can't see them. And obviously, a couple of key players that obviously Nat Phillips, they won't be having in the Premier League. Window's still open. You could sign him in the next couple of days anyway. But in terms of the key players that they have lost, Gary Cahill, obviously did get brought in last season. He has been released. And Aaron Robinson as well has been released. But yeah, not too major. But if they had Eddie Howe, but they haven't, he's at Newcastle. But 19 for me, Bournemouth, chat. To get to all your comments as well now. Bear with 1 second. So it'd be interesting to see if chat does agree with a 19th place. But John's gone with his position of 19th to Everton. Interesting that, John. Ricky's gone with Fulham for his 19th place team. How you doing, Helen? Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, make sure you do smash that like button. Really does help the channel, everyone. But I really do appreciate you tuning in tonight on the late stream. Absolute bloody legends. But if you're just jumping in, you're wondering what we're doing our 20th to 1st in terms of our Premier League predictions. I did go with Leeds 20th, and then we're going with Bournemouth 19th. But chat, get your predictions in. Our 19th place team. We'll be reading out all the comments anyway. But Mark has gone with Southampton for his 19th place team. Interesting that, Mark, as well. Big up, mate. Big up, Ricky, mate, as well. 100% there, la. I know there's talks about Sepp as a loan option for Bournemouth. That'd be interesting, Andrew. I think it'd be a massive opportunity for Sepp van der Berg if he does go. I think he'd probably be. I don't know if there's any Bournemouth fans watching or if you're watching on replay. Let us know. Would you take Sepp van der Berg? I think that's one thing he needs, Andrew, in chat. He needs minutes. And it'd be fantastic if we could get them at Bournemouth. But as well, big up John, Bournemouth. Well, Helen's gone with her bottom three. She's gone with Bournemouth, Leeds, and Everton. Is that in the same order, Helen? Let us know. Obviously, she said those three are getting relegated. So we'll move on to our 18th place team now. And we'll go to my number 18th team. I've gone with Fulham. And similar with Bournemouth in relation to their main striker, well, one of their strikers, Mitrovic. I was scratching my head. I was thinking, there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes in terms of Fulham. They've got the odd bit of quality there, but we've seen when Fulham have come into the Premier League for the last couple of seasons now that they've really just struggled to stay in the Premier League. I know it's probably one of the most difficult leagues to come into, but Mitrovic, he was playing like Leo Messi in the Championship last year. He broke obviously the Championship record for the most goals scored anyway in terms of their campaign. But if Mitrovic can translate his goals from the Championship into the Premier League, I can foresee them probably staying up. But for me, I just can't see it. I think all of us have said this about Fulham the last couple of seasons. And just a couple of mentions for the players in which they have brought in. Kevin and Babu, obviously the Switzerland right back. He's signed from Wolfsburg. Solomon from Shakhtar Donetsk. Andres Pereira from Manchester United. Callum McFarlane and Skekerak from Juventus, and João Paulinho from Sporting Lisbon as well. That's a good little signing for them from Sporting, but for me, can't see them staying in the Premier League. So that's my bottom three. Let's see chat I've got finishing 18th as well. But Ricky's gone interesting that. Ricky, let us know why you think Brentford will be that down in terms of, I'm intrigued as well. You'll be probably surprised where I've got Brentford this season, mate. But I think probably one of those. Let us know, Ricky. Elaborate on that, mate. I'm intrigued why you've got them that low. I think one of the reasons, Ricky, and you probably typing this out now, is probably Christian Eriksen. But interesting, Ricky's gone with 18 for Brentford. Will ever come to Liverpool? Well, yeah, no. Hopefully, we'll see you, Helen. Be good to see you. But John is gone with 18th for his Bournemouth. How are you doing, Paul, as well? And all on the channel. My prediction is Paul. Without jumping ahead, I want to know your prediction at the beginning, at the back end. But thank you for your comment, mate. He's gone with his prediction. We'll get straight into his prediction. LC, Manchester City, Spurs, Chelsea, West Ham, Arsenal, Man United, and Paul's gone with 18th for Fulham. So agreeing with me there, Paul. Nice one, lad. But Andrew's gone with 18th. I agree. Fulham for me. Don't get me wrong. They've signed in Barbu, Leno. I think is that being officially announced, Andrew? I think that'd be a good signing for Fulham if they can get that done, because they did have the fella from PSG, Areola, last season. Well, was it last season or last time we were in Premier League? Apologies, I'm wrong, chap, but yeah, I think it would be a weird team to judge Fulham. 100% there for Mark as well. It's, as I said, Pereira from Manchester United added with that little bit of quality, but you just never know. You never know with Fulham. So Mark's gone with this has gone with 20th for Bournemouth, worst squad in the league. So I think me and Chris and quite a lot of us are agreeing on the bottom three, which is quite interesting. There's the odd one or two teams that are in there, but Fulham will miss Carvalho. That's from Helen. It's going to be a massive miss. Chris has gone with 19 for his Fulham prediction. Obviously, Mark's gone with Leeds. Yeah, 100% there, Ricky. Nice one for that, mate. But yeah, as Ricky said, he's gone with 18th for his prediction for Brentford. Fulham have a chance to stay up if Mitrovic can score in the Premier League. 100% there, Chris. It all relies on Mitrovic can get scored in the Premier League for me. 100%, as I said there, top of the show. Well, top of the prediction there, Chris. It's heavily dependent on Fulham, getting the goals. And I tell you what, if Mitrovic can get the goals, even we've seen it with Ivan Toney with Brentford last season when he got the goals, so pivotal in relation to keeping them in the Premier League as well. So I think Mitrovic could be similar in terms of the importance of in which Brentford did rely on his goals last season. How are you feeling? I was going to say, Steve, hopefully you're okay, mate, after that chilly. But we'll swiftly move on to my 17th place team. Chat, let me know your 17th place in the Premier League. So we're going from 18th to relegation teams. And that's a team that's going to be just surviving the Premier League. Everton Football Club. I've got a lot of Everton mates, and obviously you have as well. Everyone listening or watching anyway. It's been a disappointing window, mainly due to the fact when I've been speaking to my mates over the last couple of weeks. They can't spend money. They've got all that money from Richarlison. That's a fantastic signing. Dwight McNeil as well, chat. I think adds much needed quality to what Everton were lacking. A quick, pacey wideman, someone that can create. But Everton's business, I'll just read it out. Tarkowski, great sign for them. Much needed, added to their quality. Obviously, James Tarkowski, Dwight McNeil, sorry. They've just signed Ruben Vigra from Sporting on loan. And it looks like they're getting Idrissa Gana Gueye back from PSG. So they're signing all their old players back again. And obviously, players that they have left, John Joe Kenny, listen to a lot of the Everton fans, they're happy he's gone. Richarlison to Spurs, I think they'll massively miss him. I know he didn't get the goals, but what Richarlison does do to that Everton team is he fights. As much as we dislike him, but he's paid in our backside every time we do play Everton, but he's a player that actually gets what it means to play for Everton Football Club, and he fights for the shirt. And that's something that Everton will be, I can foresee this season, lacking in that changing room again. As we've seen when Tarkowski's time at Burnley, he is a fighter, and he is a leader, and something that Everton massively need. And obviously Jared Braithwaite has gone to PSV. So that's my 17th prediction for my 17th place team anyway. But let's get to everyone. Let's get to, how you doing, Cyber? Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. I think you'll be intrigued to see me West Ham prediction, mate. I think you'll be happy, but I know the West Ham lads, a lot of you probably will be wanting a higher finish, but we'll get to that very soon, mate. Hope you're well, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to tune in tonight, matey. Big up, Steve. 17th. John's going with 17th for Fulham as well. But obviously the lads just replying to Steve. 17th definitely for me. I know they're talking about Idrissa Gana Gueye and Ross Barkley. Yeah, Andrew, there is pictures of Idrissa Gana Gueye already in an Everton kit. So that is more or less going to be getting announced. I think that was leaked on social media over the last couple of hours. But yeah, you're done well there, Steve, anyway. Absolute bloody legend. 17th for John. He's gone with Fulham. Ricky's gone with 17th for Leeds. Steve has gone with 18th for Everton. Saib has gone with 18th for Leeds United. I would like Everton higher, maybe Brentford. Interesting, Mark. It's going to be interesting, Mark, innit? And as I said, this Everton squad is much better than it actually is. And that last season was an absolute shambles for them. And we all know, as much as we enjoyed it, but Everton have got a couple of great players in the squad. But for me, I've put them as 17th, just about avoiding relegation. And they probably will finish a lot higher. But that'll only be down to the fans. The fans are absolutely fantastic in terms of the support, but the players are an absolute shambles. And we've seen last season. But for me, I've got them finishing 17th. I hate Leeds so much, Cyber. So obviously Cyber's gone with 18 for Leeds, as you can see there. As well, if you can't laugh at it, obviously you've done fantastic, Steve, to do that. Steve, you deserve 1 million subs, 100%. If you're not aware, Steve did the challenge anyway. Do head over, subscribe to Statman Stubbs' channel anyway. Doing absolutely fantastic work there, mate. Anyway, but he did a 1,000k challenge anyway in relation to 1 sec, everyone. Yeah, Steve done a challenge, the world's hottest like candy or something. He done well there, Steve. So shout out to you there, mate. Check out the comments as well. But Daniel's gone with 18th for his Everton prediction as well. But yeah, just look after yourselves anyway, everyone. Obviously, nice one there, Mark. Appreciate it. Dropping Steve's channel link in the description. So, a lot of yous agreeing similar predictions. So we had Everton. My prediction is having Everton as 17th. And then I go for 16th now, chat. Get your 16th team prediction in now. And if it works, there we go. Not Forest. I think they'll surprise quite a lot of teams anyway. We've seen with Sheffield United, first season in the Premier League, surprised quite a lot of teams. Brentford last year, coming to the league, surprised quite a lot of teams as well, the way in which they played. Who am I forgetting? Leeds United in their first season, come in, hit the ground running. And I think with Forest as well, chat, get me your 16th prediction in. I think these will do quite well. In terms of signings in which they have brought in, bear with me 1 second, everyone. Obviously, Nico Williams is one of the big players coming in down that right-hand side. Massive improvements. Obviously, the Jed Spence, who was on loan at them last season, seeing them get promoted. Trying to find bloody Forest. Where the Forest here? 1 second, everyone. Apologies. The Fulham, Leeds, Leicester. There we go. So yeah, the main players obviously Taiwo and Wanyi from Union Berlin, big signing for them. Young Liverpool academy player anyway, didn't get a lot of opportunities at Liverpool, but he really thrived in the German Bundesliga. Dean Henderson, a very good signing. Chat, let me know. I think Dean Henderson's probably, if he can hit the ground running, well, save Everton in terms of, we know his quality. We've seen that at Sheffield United when he was on loan, kept him in the Premier League as well when he was there. But for me, Dean Henderson, big signing as well. Nico Williams, as I mentioned. Wayne Hennessy from Burnley, obviously the goalkeeper. So we'll be back up to Dean Henderson as you would expect. Lewis O'Brien from Huddersfield. Jesse Lingard is the big signing for Nottingham Forest. He's rumoured to be on chat as well, as we know, in and around £20,000 a week. But he's on a 1-year deal. But I think I've seen a lot of people criticising Jesse Lingard, but if he does do well for Forest, he's obviously going to jump ship and potentially jump up to a higher place team in the Premier League next season. But I think you will see, chat, I'll be intrigued. Let me know. I think you will see a lot of Premier League teams go with this Forest approach, especially newly promoted teams I'm talking about. Obviously, signing a player on the fringes on a 1-year deal, similar with Forest. But I think Lingard, he will get the opportunities, and we know his quality. I know we joke about him. He's still quite a young player, one of the best young prospects in the Premier League as well. That's a joke. But I think I'm going to go with 16th for Forest. Let's get to everyone's comments as well. But Ricky's gone with 16th for Southampton. John has gone with 16th for Brentford as well. So interesting, very similar predictions. I rate Forest's chances. Helen, obviously they played quite well when we played them in the cup last year, and they beat Arsenal as well. I think they beat Leicester as well in the other rounds last year. So they've beat they've made their own against the Premier League teams. They were unlucky against Liverpool in terms of the opportunities. If Forest took their opportunities against us prior to Jota getting that goal, it could have been a different outlook anyway. No one seems to rate. I didn't, John. But yeah, but Steve's gone with his 16th place prediction. So, chat, if you want to grab a pen or paper or do it on your phone anyway, get your 1 to 20, and obviously we will recap. But we're on place 20th now. Yeah, he will be, Steve. And nice one for tuning in, mate. Absolute legend. Hope you're having a lovely evening, mate. And we'll be getting you on the channel very soon. 4 places too high. Obviously, a massive Leicester fan, and I think you won't be happy with my Leicester prediction, and I don't want to spoil anything. Love the graphics on the stream, Jackie. Very nice one, mate. I really do appreciate it. And trying to just improve. It's not the best, but I'm just trying to improve every aspect. But I really do appreciate your support, Steve. And as I said, if you need any help, support on graphics, not just Steve, but all of yous, I will take my time out to help you as well, as much as I can. I'm not the best at my graphics, but I just do what I can. But I'm going with Andrew's gone with his 16th place team as Southampton. I think Forest will stay up. The signs they've made, that Carvalho from Betis, Betis, I think that is. It will be a great addition for Forest. Very good defensive central midfielder. And they are as well in for that. Is it Carvalho, the Portuguese midfielder, Andrew? I think obviously that's what you mentioned, Carvalho, as you said there. But Paul's gone with 16 for Brentford, and Forest will be okay for Paul as well. Mark's gone with Neverton to finish 16th. We signed Cambiasso when we came up. That lot signed Lingard, well and truly levels to that game. And saying that, Cambiasso was long retired, mate. That was a bit of a mad one when news did come up, but I don't think it was the Jose Mourinho classic Cambiasso. I think you probably signed Cambiasso a couple of years too late. But I think Forest will be a lot higher than 16th. Helen, where have you got Forest finishing then? Let us know. Steve Cooper continuing where he left off last season as well. I'm enjoying people writing Leicester off. Don't worry. And I tell you what, it's be intriguing to see where do you finish next season. But chat, that's from 16th place. We're going to be moving to 15th, and this was Southampton. Chat, weird team, as we were saying with Fulham. Southampton have got the potential to finish quite high in the Premier League, and then they've got the potential to get battered 9-0 within the Premier League, as we know. Let me know, chat. Where have you got Southampton finishing? I know a couple of years have mentioned Southampton already in terms of the prediction, but Southampton, weird team in terms of. I really do rate the coach as well. Frank. Completely forgot his name. Hassan Huttle. There we go. Obviously, you seen him frustrate Manchester City last season. They frustrated Liverpool in the past as well. But in terms of going through their players, Romeo Lavia, of the young Manchester City player. Apologies, everyone. So he's one of their signings. Joe Aribo from Rangers. Very good signing. Sakeko Mara from Bordeaux. He's come in. Don't know a lot about him. Alex Nwonyi from Sutton as well. So in terms of the players that they have let go as well, Shane Long, I'm surprised he hasn't left Southampton a very long time ago. Fraser Forster has gone to Spurs on a free transfer as well. Not had many big signing players that have left. So I've gone with 15th for Southampton. It was a weird one. I could have had these a lot more lower down, but similar with quite a couple of teams I've mentioned tonight. Goals. The Chelsea fella that was on loan, he's completely gone out my head, but you know who I'm talking about. The fella that was on loan last year. The fact that they haven't signed him, if they do manage to get Brozier, there we go, coming to my head. Brozier, well, similar. Armstrong, he's a weird signing. In the Championship, he got them a lot of goals. Well, when he was in the Championship, anyway. But if he can't hit the ground running, Southampton need goals. And I think they could finish a lot lower down if they don't get the goals that's needed to keep him in the Premier League. But outside the top 10 for Forest, for Helen, Ricky's gone with 15th for his prediction. He's gone with Crystal Palace anyway. Interesting. And Steve has got Southampton as 15th also. Mark's gone with Forest 15th, Villa 14th. Mark, you jumping the gun there, la. We'll get to 14th in a little second. You have to do 14th again in a little second, Mark. Nice one for that, mate. 12th, I think they've done some underrated business. Interesting. And so he's got Southampton as 12th. If you haven't already done so, chat, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Really just help the algorithm anyway. Absolute bloody legends. 12 of yous in here. And really do appreciate it, everyone. So Andrew's gone with 15th. I'm going for Aston Villa. Ant has gone with 15th for Wolves. We'll get on to Wolves, Ant, in terms of my prediction, but I understand where you come from with Wolves, and I will explain that with my prediction a bit later. But interesting, Ant, Wolves 15th. But Connor from the Cop Council, nice one there. He's gone with Forest in 15th and Wolves 14th. Obviously, Mark just saying hello. Right, 1 second, everyone's getting my drink. But I hope you're well, Connor, anyway, just saying there. And we'll swiftly move on, everyone. We'll go to our 14th place team. Well, my 14th place team. I want to know your 14th. I know Mark did mention Villa. And Brentford. I've only put them this high. And probably a lot of you probably had them a bit lower. They are missing Christian Eriksen. I think he will be a massive miss. And all of you will agree with that. But the signings that they've made in terms of keeping hold of Ivan Toney, if they can keep hold of Ivan Toney, we've seen how many goals he did get in the Premier League last year. It was a massive part in terms of why and how they stayed in the Premier League. But we'll go through a couple of their signings. Aaron Hickey from Bologna. He's the left back anyway. I think he signed him for about 12, 15 million or in and around that ballpark anyway. Max Dickoff, Aaron Hickey as well. Keane Lewis Potter from Hull as well. Krib Libson on a free transfer. Strakushka from Lazio. Obviously, he's the goalkeeper. Interesting signing. Very heavily regarded, massively rated in the Serie A, but I think that's a big signing for them. Yarmolenko, Dnipro, Yahoo, Ben Mee as well is the final incoming transfer. Potentially, the window is still open, but Ben Mee, great signings, adds that needed. Same with Everton with Tarkowski, both. He is the lead. He was the captain, Ben Mee, of Burnley anyway, but I think he'll be a massive signing for Brentford in terms of just reassuring that back line anyway. And the odd players that they have lost, Christian Eriksen being the main player as well, and a couple of young players on loan. But let's get to your 14th team prediction anyway, Andrew. And I don't know if you're being serious there. 14 for United. Which United is that? But Ricky's gone with his 14th prediction as Forest. But Ant's got Brighton finishing 14th. I can understand where you're coming from there, Ant. Obviously, Mark saying, hopefully. Yeah, Helen's gone with Brentford for 14th. Surprisingly sold Eriksen. Is Canos still at Brentford? He is, Helen. 100% he is still there. And we move swiftly on to our 13th place team. And I'm sorry, lad. 13th. I just think the business. Brendan Rodgers, I could have. It's a bit of a mad one. We'll get to Leicester's business now anyway, in terms of their transfer window. And you're probably going to elaborate on a couple of these signings. Will Russ has gone out the door anyway. Oh no, saying that Leicester, yeah, well, and yeah, that's the main reason I probably put them in there. Leicester have currently, as I'm looking on the Premier League website, it might be wrong, Ant, anyway, but let me know. Haven't made any signings. What, like, for me, that's not an improvement. And 10th place, too low, lads. Losing Basuma and Cucurella will be a big loss. And have you made any signings in terms of, that's the only reason I've made Leicester 13th. No signings that have come in. Well, not that I'm currently looking at anyway. But Ant's gone with his 13th prediction. He's gone with Everton 13th. So, Ricky, obviously, you're probably anticipating Everton to have a much better season. Paul, nice one for that, Paul. He's gone with 14th for Villa. Stevie will get the boot and end up at Wolves. Interesting shout there, Paul. But Paul's gone with Wolves. Leicester are the only side in Europe not to sign anyone. Yeah, that's the main reason, Connor. It's the only reason they've not improved on what they done last year. I think heavily reliant on Jamie Vardy and Patson Daka staying fit as well. Andrew saying 13th he thinks as well. That's the second funniest thing I've saw tonight. But yeah, so I've gone with Leicester seeing 13th anyway. So apologies, I'm probably going to be getting a message after. Anthony's going to be ringing me up anyway after the show's finished. But Connor had Brentford at 13th anyway. So interesting that, Connor. But we'll move swiftly on. I think probably a lot of you probably will be disagreeing with that Leicester prediction. But for me, they haven't, as Connor was alluding to, the only side in Europe not to have signed anyone as of yet. Still quite a couple of days left to go in the window. A lot can change. And we'll go to 12th position. Aston Villa. For me, they made a couple of mad signings, Aston Villa, really. Similar with Steven Gerrard. I don't think, as long as what's his name? The fella that's just lost the captaincy, Tyrone Mings, Aston Villa anyway. We'll have a little look at the transfers that they've made. Felipe Coutinho on a full transfer. That's great news for them. Kamara from Marseille, good signing. A young player with quite a big rapport anyway in French football. Got him as well. Big signing. Diego Carlos was rumoured to be going to Newcastle a couple of months ago anyway in January. Robin Olsen from Roma. Good signing for a backup for obviously added that bit more quality in terms of the ranks. Rory Wilson from Rangers. John probably knows a bit more about him as well. And Augustine from Sevilla. He is a left back as well from Sevilla. In terms of outgoings as well, in terms of players that have gone, Wesley, obviously the big signing, which he did make a couple of seasons ago, he's gone to Levante on loan. Trezeguet's gone to Trabzonspor as well. And Matt Target has gone to Newcastle United. So get me your 12th team prediction in there as well, everyone. Big up Ravi as well. Thank you for tuning in, mate. As you can see, Premier League predictions, we are on 12th. So everyone get your 12th team prediction anyway. No, but we finished 8th, 1 point off West Ham last year, who supposedly had an amazing season with the worst injury crisis possible. And yeah, if you do lose for Farney, I think playing centre half anyway, I think that'd be a massive miss. I'm similar with Leicester as well, right? Squad depth is massive for a lot of these teams. I don't think you've got the squad depth really to compete in terms of getting top 6, top 7 place in the Premier League. And you could surprise a lot of teams. And if Rodgers gets it right, we know how good he can be when he does get the tactics right and everything. But let me know. We only need a right winger, so I'm pretty relaxed, to be honest. To be fair, he's gone with 12 for Palace. Ricky's gone with 12 for Wolves. Mark's gone with Bournemouth. Bournemouth, you jumped the gun there, Mark. We're on 12. But Mark's gone with 11 for Bournemouth. Paul's gone with... Paul, try to elaborate on that position for Newcastle, mate. I'm intrigued. Very intrigued, but nice one for that, La. And then Andrew's gone with 12th. Interesting shouts there, chat. But I think, judging from everyone's predictions, were quite similar in terms of the predictions as well. But Connor's gone with 12 for Brighton as well. Interesting. But we'll go to our 11th place team now. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves. A lot of you are probably surprised that I've put them this high, but only for that man in the picture, Bruno Lage. I think Wolves do need to sign a striker. They've outloaned, they got rid of they haven't got rid of him, but they loaned out the young Portuguese striker anyway, didn't they? He's gone to, bear with me 1 second while I get the Wolves transfers up. What's his name? But yeah, the Portuguese, Fabio Silva, there we go. He's on loan at Anderlecht. I think he did sign a new contract as well, a 1 year plus. But Wolves, similar with Leicester, They've only made one signing, Nathan Collins, very highly regarded at Burnley anyway. Listen to me, good mate Dan. He's a massive Burnley fan anyway, and he was very disappointed to see them lose Nathan Collins. But I think the only reason I've put Wolves this high in terms of 11th is they can keep clean sheets, or they do tend to draw quite a lot of their games, and I can foresee them doing that exact same thing. They frustrate quite a couple of teams in the Premier League, but I think massively similar with Fulham, similar with Bournemouth as well. I think goals, if Wolves can sign an out-and-out number 9 or a striker, obviously you've got Raul Jimenez, great player, great player, but I think they need a bit more quality up front. And if they did get a bit more quality up front, I think I could see them finishing a bit more higher as well in the table. So let's get to everyone's comments. Get me your 11th team prediction. Ant's gone with 11 for Newcastle. Bloody hell, Ant, that's a bit low, but he's gone with 11th. Nice one for that, La. Yeah, silver to Anderlecht. 11th for Brighton for Ricky. Jose, I'm not the legend, Jose. You are the legend. Obviously, a channel member as well. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Obviously, as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, Jose, it's Premier League prediction show anyway. I want to know you're currently on 11th, Jose, and chat. But chat is getting the 11th prediction in. So Ricky's gone with 11th for Brighton. But we'll move quickly on to 10th place, chat. We are into the top half of the Premier League now. Crystal Palace. As I was saying at the top of the show, everyone, go and have a look at my shocking prediction last season. I was putting 2 and 2 together. I thought Patrick Vieira wouldn't have had the impact that we've all foreseen, but he has. He's done absolutely phenomenal work at Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, sorry. One of the key reasons I've probably got them finishing a bit lower is Conor Gallagher, how they foresee in terms of how they play. He's going to be a massive miss. And if I was Conor Gallagher, I would have been at least wanting a move to Crystal Palace because he works so well in terms of their system as well, as we seen last year against Manchester City. A couple of great opportunities to score, but I was disappointed. In terms of their incomings as well, Malcolm Aboymi from Derby, Sam Johnson on a free, Decore from Lens as well, very highly regarded by all accounts in terms of the scouts. Austin as well, and Chris Richards from Bayern Munich. In terms of players that they've left go, Martin Kelly, Sion Spence as well. They've done quite well. Obviously, in terms of Conor Gallagher, is probably the main player that they haven't lost. Obviously, he was on loan at Crystal Palace, but for me, I've gone with 10th place for Crystal Palace. Connor has gone with, he's agreeing with Palace in 10th. Andrew's gone with 10th place for Crystal Palace as well. And Ricky has gone with 10th place for Leicester. Interesting. So it wasn't just me that had Leicester City finishing a bit lower than anticipated as well. But I'm intrigued. Crystal Palace are one of these teams in the Premier League. They've got the potential. I love Elise as a player, probably one of the most highly talented youngsters in the Premier League as well. Got a lot of talented players. Zaha, he's outside the top 5 or 6. He's probably one of my most favourite players. If we had to pick a player, he's got that ability to do the unpredictable. And sometimes that's probably what does let him down. Half the time, he doesn't even know what to do. But Mark's gone with Leicester for 10th and 9th for Newcastle. But we'll go straight into number 9 for the Premier League prediction. Brighton. And a lot of yous, judging from the chat tonight, have probably got Brighton finishing a bit lower than I've got them anyway. Basuma is going to be a massive miss for any team. Similar with Leeds United when you're losing a player of that quality. But I think I'm only ranking Brighton this high due to the coach in which they have got in terms of the manager at the football club anyway. Graham Potter, probably one of the most highly regarded coaches in terms of the Premier League. I think if he will be getting a bigger job in the next couple of years if he does continue to keep Brighton even in the top 10. But for me, obviously, if they can keep hold of um, the players, but as I said, we'll get to Brighton. In terms of their, apologies 1 second, everyone. In terms of their incomings, they have made 3 signs at the minute. Baker Poati from Porto, Julio Esquio from Libertad, and Simon Adingar from Nutschland. And obviously the main players that they have left go Brighton. The key players obviously being Basuma, and probably that is probably the only biggest signing that they have let go. In terms of keeping hold of Trossard as well, chat, I'm very surprised. I really do rate. Similar with Zaha, probably one of my most favourite players outside the top 6. Trossard and Wilfried Zaha anyway. Players that I think potentially could get bigger moves in and around Europe, but I think Trossard and I know that fellow on the picture is probably one of the most hated players in the Premier League just for his arrogance and his celebrations, but cue the Arsenal fans crying anyway. They absolutely despise him anyway. But Andrew's gone with 10 for Palace. Ricky's gone with 10 for Leicester. 10 for Leicester and 9 for Newcastle. Newcastle 9th. Interesting chat. I think he's all in very similar positions in terms of Newcastle. Brighton. Andrew's gone with 9th. Brighton clutching 8th. Interesting, Mark. Interesting. But it wouldn't surprise me if Brighton do finish a bit lower. But as I said, due to the manager, Potter, I think he's doing. The fact that he finishes top 10 the majority of the season on season to an achievement in itself in terms of the budget at the football club. But and obviously he always played quite well when he played Liverpool, don't we, chat, as well? Liverpool find it difficult. But I've gone with 8th for Newcastle. I know I've got quite a lot of Geordie mates anyway. And they're very optimistic, and quite rightly. Newcastle are, apart from obviously Liverpool and Manchester City, Newcastle were in the top, I think they were 3rd in terms of the form guide, or probably 2nd from January last year. The work in which Eddie Howe has done has been absolutely phenomenal in terms of the recruitment as well. The centre half, the Dutch centre half, completely. It's completely gone on my head. Newcastle. There we go. Sven Botman, anyway, from Lille. And for a big transfer fee, Matt Targett's come in on a full transfer. Nick Pope from Burnley, massive signing. In terms of getting competition for Dubravka as well. Charlie MacArthur as well from Kilmarnock, not too sure on him. Alex Murphy from Galloway United. So probably the main thing for Newcastle, and there's quite a couple of days to go as well, chat. Let me know your 8th place team. I know a lot of you did have Newcastle finishing in and around 8th from 11th, judging from the comments tonight on the live stream. But for Newcastle, I think it's going to be a massive season. As I said, the window's still open, but if Newcastle can get an out-and-out number 9, a goal scorer, judging from a lot of my Newcastle mates, they have been speaking about being linked with a couple of strikers this window, and similar in January as well. But if you can get an out-and-out goal scorer, number 9, that can put the ball in the back of the net, I think they could be finishing a bit more higher. But for me, I think 8th is a slow progression anyway, but it wouldn't surprise me if they go push those higher places anyway. But I think as the window's still open, if they can get an out-and-out number 9, bit more squad depth, to keep hold of St. Maximum as well. He has been linked with a move to Chelsea, a couple of Premier League players, Premier League teams as well. But they have been linked with Timo Werner, I think, with Chelsea in a potential swap deal for St. Maximum for Timo Werner. That'd be mad if it did happen, but only time will tell. Let's get to everyone chat's comments in terms of their 8th place prediction. As Mark saying, he went with Brighton for 8th. Transfer Shambles United. Eighth, I don't know. That's Ricky. Is that Man United or? I think it is Man United, Ricky. Brighton mid-table for me, maybe 12th. Nice one, Amons. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Absolute legends. We're closing in on the top 8th place teams now. Andrew's gone with Manchester United. Manchester United 8th, Andrew. Palace. Paul's gone with Palace for 8th. As I was saying, with my Palace prediction, Paul, as well. I can see Palace finishing a bit more higher, but for me, I've gone with Newcastle for 8th. But Paul's gone with Palace for 8th. Eamon's gone 10th for Newcastle as well. We will be doing a recap and at the back end of the show. We'll go from 20th to 1st anyway, but keep on getting your 8 predictions in there, chat, as well. Really do appreciate you all tuning in. Absolute legends. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you're dropping a like on the video. Really does help the algorithm gods. An absolute bloody legends. Really do appreciate you tuning in tonight. We're getting there. We're getting close. And then we're going to 7th. 7th place. I've got a lot of West Ham mates. Very good close mates as well. West Ham United. I want to put West Ham a bit more higher. But one of the biggest businesses, it's probably not incomings or outgoings, is keeping hold of Declan Rice. I think, obviously, that man in your picture, Scamacca, 6'5", very young Italian striker, come with a glowing rapport in terms of the Serie A. I think he got about 15, 16 goals in the Italian league last season. So that's one thing that West Ham have very much missed. They've been heavily reliant on Antonio for the last 3-4 seasons, and they've been playing, and you've seen that in the Europa League run as well at the back end of the season. Antonio was running on fresh air, really. He was absolutely gone in terms of his energy levels. But I think Scamacca will give Antonio that much needed rest. But most importantly, he gives West Ham that outlet, especially with Jared Bowen as well. The fact that West Ham have kept hold of Jared Bowen is a massive achievement. But I think if Bowen is to have that impact in which he did have last year, again, then I think a lot of clubs will be knocking on the door of West Ham United. Speaking to my Hammer mates anyway, you were just so you wanted to keep hold of Rice and you wanted to keep hold of Bowen, and they have done so. And for me, David Moyes is doing a phenomenal job. And for me, it was a toss of the coin, really, in terms of 6th and 7th. You'll see who's 6th for me in a little second, but interesting for West Ham. But Eamon's gone with 8th for West Ham. Nice one for that, Eamon's. He's gone with West Ham, the Hammers. Also, still United have Maguire, the greatest clown of all time. Yes, lads, it's Manchester United. Absolutely spot on there, Ricky. That would be lovely, mate, as well, especially after the all the talk that they've had in terms of the recruitment. West Ham United, Eamon's gone with 8th. Ant's gone with 7th. The boys, we are. Andrew's gone with 7th. Paul's gone with Manchester United 7th. Now, this might be a shock, but it's Villa 7th. Ricky, go ahead, son. Go ahead. Yeah, of course. Stephen Gerrard finishing that high up, Steve. Ricky, sorry, la. I'll tell you what, that'll be absolutely phenomenal. Go ahead, Stevie, la. That'll be fantastic. Interesting, that, Ricky. Well, time will tell for... I love that prediction, Ricky. Mark's gone with 7th for Manchester United and West Ham 6th. Interesting there, Mark. Very much agreeing with me there. Moyes Club is West Ham. Should have been gone to never Manchester United. Helen, 100%. But interesting season ahead for the Hammers, I think. As I said, toss of the coin, and a lot of you have already mentioned them. Manchester United. Right, let's have a quick look in terms of their recruitment. That centre half, the Argentinian, it'll be interesting. As I've said on my shows a couple of weeks ago, some of the world's best centre halves have not been the taller centre halves. Franco Baresi and the AC Milan days as well. Fabio Cannavaro, what a great centre half. He was quite small, but we're talking about legendary centre halves. So Alvarez from Ajax anyway. Lisandro Martinez, there was a lot of talk in terms of where he would be playing. Would he be a defensive midfielder? But I think Ten Hag has very much come out straight away and said he will be playing centre half with, it looks like, Harry Maguire. Christian Eriksen, I feel, is a fantastic signing for Manchester United. As much as it pains me, but I think he adds that much needed quality, and he's going to be a massive miss for Brentford, as we said before. And then Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord. He is the anticipated new left back, the new Dutchman anyway from Feyenoord. So they've only made 3 transfers. And the big one, chat as well, as a lot of you probably already are mentioning in the chat as well, Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he staying or is he going? I think for Manchester United's sake, they need to get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo. But I've done this with the influence of Cristiano Ronaldo staying at Manchester United and becoming a pain in the backside for Erik Ten Hag. We know how much of a disciplinarian Ten Hag is at his time at Ajax as well. If Ronaldo does stay, I think Ronaldo will stay on the bench or in the reserves. Or I know it's crazy to say someone that's on 500k a week, but if Ronaldo comes back with his tail between his legs and plays, I'll be very surprised. But for Manchester United to go forward, I think they need to get rid of Ronaldo. But Lisandro Martinez is integral to the way in which Manchester United will be playing under Ten Hag, and it was obviously it explains obviously the big price tag in which Ajax did slap on him anyway. Manchester United still need a lot more in terms of their quality, but time will tell. But I think a lot of you have agreed with, but we'll go with Ricky with West Ham. He's gone with 6 for West Ham. Anne's gone with 6 for Arsenal. And bloody wait until you see where to put Arsenal. But Anne's gone with 6. Andrew's gone with 6 for Newcastle. Interesting, mate. Manchester United 6. I agree with that, Eamons. Nice one for that, mate. Paul's gone with another person that's someone that's gone prediction with Arsenal 6. Interesting there, gents. One then way lower down, but yeah, 6 for me. Shy players. Penaldo to buy out his contract and walk out. How are you doing, Doug? Absolute bloody legends. Doug did do his Premier League prediction as well. Make sure you head over to the Dugout Football channel to view that as well. But 9-0 aggregate scoreline happening again for us. 100% there, Helen. We'd love that. Penaldo is the problem at United. Yeah, Paul, as I said, I've made that prediction on the assumption that Ronaldo does stay. Don't be wrong, Ronaldo gets you goals, but I think the antics in which he does on the pitch are absolute embarrassment. And as I said, Ten Hag, he's like a school teacher, really. He wants everyone doing press-ups, as he said. He's made them work the backside off in pre-season. You can tell. You can see a massive improvement, only because Ten Hag's not going to let them waltz around the pitch, and Ronaldo will be the problem if he does stay. United put Sanchez on the bench. He has the same money as Ronaldo. Yeah, 100%. That's a great point there, Ricky, as well, mate, isn't it? Obviously, Sanchez at his time when he did sign from Arsenal. But Mark's jumped the gun here. Yeah, I'll ask it again, Mark, in a sec. We'll go to 5th in a sec. Got a new job today, Jack, by the way. Left Tesco last week. Well, congratulations there, Doug, anyway. Congratulations, La. Message me after the show, mate. I'll message you anyway, mate. But you'll absolutely smash it. Congratulations on that, matey. Didn't even know about that. Say it again, Helen. Ricky as well. Start on Monday. I'll message you after the show, Doug, anyway, if you're still up. Madrid don't want Penaldo at 38. All the Atletico Madrid fans were going mad, aren't they? Because he was rumoured, and obviously subscribed to the Dugout Football channel. Nice one for that, Mark. But, chat, we're very close. So we've gone from 6. Now we're going to go for 5th. So this is where the juicy bit comes in. And for me, I know it's big, and a lot of people probably screaming at the screen, Chelsea 5th, you're mad. But for me, goal scorers, goal scorers, goal scorers, goal scorers, goal scorers. Chelsea Football Club. Where do we start? Raheem Sterling, phenomenal signing. Probably one of my favourite transfers of the window. Koulibaly, fantastic. He's in the top 5 of world's best centre halves. 100%. Absolutely love him as a centre half. Think he'll do really well at Chelsea. Eddie Beach, what a name. And Amari Hutchinson from Arsenal as well. Players that left the football club. Rudiger, didn't really rate him much anyway, but he's a massive miss. Christensen, Drinkwater. Thank God Chelsea got rid of him anyway. Charlie Mzwanda, he's been released. I think that's the Belgian fella that they've loaned out about 10 times. As well, Lukaku has gone to Inter on loan, bit of a mad one, as we all know. And yeah, and obviously a couple of the youth has been loaned out anyway. But for me, Chelsea, very heavily dependent on their fullback injuries. We seen last season that was the excuse for Chelsea Football Club in terms of Ben Chilwell was injured and Reece James was injured for certain moments last year. If those two do stay fit, I think they will finish higher. But if they get injuries in that area, goals, as I said, that man, Timo Werner, for me, I don't know when the penny's going to drop with Timo Werner, or as I said, he was linked with Newcastle United a couple of weeks ago. Chelsea fans aren't his biggest fan. Kai Havertz will Kai Havertz be playing through the middle as well? It's going to be madness as well. Christian Pulisic, not their biggest fan anyway, but goal scorer. I think for Chelsea to be successful in Europe, and we've seen that in the Champions League as well, the amount of chances Chelsea passed up last year, but for me, if it come down to finishing them higher, it would be massively heavily dependent on their defence. If Tuchel goes with 3 at the back, or 5 at the back, or if he switches to 4 at the back, I don't think he will. He'll go with what he's been doing over the last couple of seasons. Go with 5, more or less a 3 anyway. But I've got them finishing 5th. Bit of a mad one, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Probably a lot easier with screaming to tell you on what are you chatting. But we'll get to everyone's comments as well. Paul has gone West Ham to be in 5th. Big shout there, Paul. Big shout. But Ant's gone with United to finish 5th. Ricky's gone with Spurs 5th. Too much hype. Conte sacked. And they go and get Poch. Interesting there, Ricky. Defo Jack, Chelsea are club with hasn't a clue with football, but they've made, as I said there, Helen, Raheem Sterling's probably one of the best bits of business in the window anyway. I think he'll do absolutely fantastic. Chelsea 5th, they haven't recruited enough apart from Sterling and Koulibaly. Kimpembe is staying at PSG. They missed out on Kunde today as well. If there's any Chelsea fans, let me know. Obviously, there's been rumours and links with Fofana at Chelsea. I think that would be a great signing for Chelsea in terms of the long-term recruitments. He's a young player, got a lot of talent as well, and he's probably got a lot of experience at Leicester City as well. Last year, obviously, he did have that very bad injury at the beginning of the year, but if Chelsea can get Fofana in, it'd be a step in the right direction as well. But I think Thomas Tuchel, there's been a lot. Well, speaking about Chelsea this season, about 6 months ago, I think Thomas Tuchel, as I said, there can't be any excuses for Chelsea Football Club this season. The money they've spent, the quality within the squad as well, could do with an extra midfielder. But for me, I've gone with 5th. If Kovacic gets injured or Kante gets injured as well, they had Saul on loan last year. Gallagher, if he gets his opportunities, I think he'll be a great player to put in the squad, but I don't think he's going to be getting his opportunities at Chelsea. For me, he should have went back to Crystal Palace, whether that be on loan or a full transfer. Eamon's gone with 5th for Arsenal. Chilwell is that. What is that there? I'd have to disagree with you there, Helen. I think Salah will realise I really do rate Koulibaly. As I said, he's still got quite a couple of years left in the engine. But last, I'm saying they've put 100 million on for Fana as well. So we're moving to the big news. Well, the big news and a lot of talking points anyway. Top four, straight at it. Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club. And probably the main reason is that man in your picture. I think he'll do absolutely fantastic at Arsenal. Yes, you can talk about him scoring in pre-season and all that, but he adds that much needed quality. Lacazette was an absolute shambles for the last couple of years. Couldn't finish his dinner, Lacazette. Aubameyang had the occasional couple of seasons when he was banging goals. He done quite well, but apart from that, Gabriel Jesus adds that much needed quality and most importantly, the experience in which he'll bring to Arsenal Football Club in terms of he's a proven Premier League winner on numerous occasions. Wants to get into the Brazilian national side anyway, even though he has been getting the squad over the last couple of seasons anyway for the national side. World Cup on the horizon, as I said. He'll be wanting. We don't always being from Europe, but the Brazilians and the South Americans representing your country is absolutely massive compared to the other teams in Europe. They grow up wanting to play for the national side as well, but most importantly, the Brazilians love their football. Most importantly, their national side. But for me, in terms of their recruitment, Zinchenko, what a signing for Manchester City as well. I think whether they utilise him on the left back area or a midfielder, he's very versatile, as similar with Jesus, exact same points. Quality, improved Arsenal's quality, the experience and know-how in terms of big game environments as well. Matt Turner, don't know a lot about him. I think he's a New York Revolution, the American goalkeeper. Fabio Vieira from Porto. Great little signing. Not going to sit here and say I've seen a lot of them, but he comes with a big rapport in terms of Portuguese football. And Marquinhos from Sao Paulo, he's another youngster with a bright future at the football club. But I think, and I'm hoping from the Arsenal mates as well, I'm hoping they do get top four. But I'm backing Arsenal, and it wouldn't surprise me if they let me down come at the end of the season. But for me, I've got a feeling they'll finish fourth. Chat, I'm intrigued to see all your fourth positions here. Jack's fourth. Yes. Who we are suffering to go to. Doug, I'll do a recap in a little second, mate, as well. We'll go through from 20th to 1st for people that are tuning in. But we'll go with Ricky. Ricky's gone with 4 for Arsenal, so he's agreeing with me in terms of Arsenal finishing top 4. Paul, 4 for Chelsea, but I hope Sterling will be a flop. How we treated Liverpool. Hopefully, mate, but I think he'll do quite well at Chelsea. Helen's put Arsenal 3rd. Massive Helen. Massive shout there. Eamon's going with Chelsea for 4th. Speaking sensible, I think Arsenal will finish 3rd. Andrew's gone with Arsenal for 4th as well. And we're moving to the hugely anticipated top 3. Tottenham Hotspur. And I've seen some predictions on social media and online as well. Maybe from I think it was a Boovy from Chelsea, the Manchester City fan anyway. Obviously, he's on True Geordie and everything, but I think he even had Tottenham is finishing above Liverpool. His anti-Liverpool agenda was shining through anyway. But Tottenham Hotspur, one of their signings, as you can see on the screen, Perisic from Inter Milan, adds that much needed quality and experience as well. I think the way in which Conte wants to play, and we've seen in glimpses last season, they frustrated Liverpool so much. He done the double over at Manchester City last season as well, getting maximum points. in the Premier League as well, frustrating a lot of the top teams. And I think they will finish third. And I'm hoping that Tottenham are a bit more closer to us and Manchester City, and they're not, 10, 15 points off, like a lot of the teams have been in recent years. So, in terms of their recruitments, as we've seen, Basuma, probably one of the signings of the season, up there for me with Sterling and Basuma. Two players that will really help. They're both respectable clubs anyway, in terms of Tottenham's incomings as well. Ivan Perisic, as I mentioned, Fraser Forster from Southampton, Basuma from Brighton, Richarlison from Everton. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it, chat. I know they need a bit of squad depth in terms of their striking positions, but unless Conte is going to be playing Richarlison right wing back or left wing back or something mad, as we know Conte sometimes does like to do. Jed Spence from Middlesbrough obviously was on loan at Notts Forest last season. As we see, Clement Lenglet from Barcelona on loan. Josh Keeley as well. Tyler Ashcroft. Don't know a lot of those players, but the main players: Richarlison, Basuma, Perisic, and Jed Spence and Lenglet. I'm intrigued, chat, really, to see Lenglet. His move to Barcelona didn't really materialise. He come with quite a big report in terms of when he did move to Barca, but it just didn't really happen for him. Well, for me, it'd be intriguing to see how he does adapt to the Premier League. So that was my Tottenham in third. But most important, let's get to chat predictions as well. Shock. City third, Champions League, the main aim. Ricky, bloody hell, but interesting. And Scott, come on, that's. And speaking of mad predictions, Ant's gone third for Liverpool. Interesting there, mate. Spurs third. Sebastian's got Liverpool third. Sebastian, please elaborate. You and Ant, please elaborate on that. Interesting, Sebastian. Spurs fourth. Spurs third for Andrew. Liverpool third. Total Football. Interesting. I think a lot of you have got Liverpool third. Spurs could give City problems again, and Liverpool interesting. Sebastian. But Sebastian's got. So, Sebastian, chat, I'm guessing if you've got Liverpool as third, you're anticipating Spurs to be a bit more closer to Liverpool and City. So it's going to be tight. I'm intrigued. But obviously, everyone's absolute quality predictions. But Richarlison is quality. You just don't like him because he's Everton. It's not that, mate. It's if he was a goal scorer. Oh, I've seen him close in so many derbies as well. It's not that he played for Everton, mate. He's just not he's not good. And that's coming from a lot of my Everton mates as well. They were surprised that Spurs got, 50, 60 odd million for him. And a couple of them, yeah, he works hard for the team. And because he punched someone in pre-season, Richarlison, he winds up opposition fans, and he will be public enemy number one for Arsenal. Like he was for us in the derby anyway. But Liverpool third is just a feeling I get. Interesting, but obviously respecting everyone's that's the whole point. That's why I'm doing the predictions, getting everyone's thoughts as well. The reason I put Spurs third, because the signing they made will improve their squad. Plus, I hope they do double over City again. I bet you have LFC second, Jack. We'll find out in a second, Ellen. Richarlison is classic breaking legs. But we'll go to second. Here come all the triggered Man City fans and everyone fuming. For me, as chat's already probably alluded to anyway, I think Jack Grealish will have an absolutely phenomenal season this year. I think him and Haaland, you can see in the pre-season, both of them, their link-up play. You can see the understanding. Grealish, I think there was an interview in terms of Manchester City, in terms of the social media last week when they played one of the games in America, and he was just saying to Haaland, just get into the box, I'll feed you. But for me, I've got a feeling they'll probably do well in the Champions League. Manchester good in the Champions League, Man City. Calvin Phillips replacing Fernandinho. interesting signing, fantastic player, Calvin Phillips. Ortega Moreno, obviously a free transfer. Stefan Ortega, the goalkeeper as well. Erling Haaland, he will get bags of goals. He will get absolutely bags of goals. And people saying, oh, it's the Bundesliga, he won't do well in the Premier League. The chances Manchester City make, Haaland will easily be getting 15, 20 plus goals in the Premier League. I don't think he'll have any difficulties adapting, but I think City will finish second. And I think it's going to be when I'm talking about the first and second, it's going to be 1 point in it again, or 1 or 2 points, like it has done. For me personally, I've seen a lot of teams. There was talk last year of Chelsea doing something. They collapsed. Talk of Spurs doing bits last year. They collapsed. Talk of Man United because they signed Ronaldo. Where did they finish last year? And there's talk about Spurs this year. City and Liverpool will run away with it again, like it has been in previous seasons. All the pundits' predictions last year having Liverpool finishing outside the top four and everything. I think City will finish second, and I think City will win. I'll give you that. I'll give you the Champions League prediction as well. I think City will win the Champions League next season. So I'll give them that. I think he will win the Champions League. City second for Paul. Liverpool first, City second. Bit of transition period for you. I think it's a bit of a transition period for not just Liverpool, Lance. I think it is for Manchester City as well. Mainly due to the fact in terms of the stylistically, in terms of both teams going with an out-and-out number 9 target man striker. Haaland can do everything. He can win the balls in the air, on the floor. He's an absolute animal in front of goal. And as I said, Haaland easily get 20 plus goals. And it wouldn't surprise me if City did win the league, that they win it due to the fact of Erling Haaland. And you win it by, 6, 7 points? But for me, they'll do absolutely fantastic. Yet again, Manchester City. Grealish will have a much better season. I know a lot of people were mocking his transfer fee last season, but I think the combination play, especially down that left-hand side, and if they can keep hold of Bernardo Silva this season, City, I think, they'll be very close to Liverpool. It's going to be 1 point, 2 points in it. It's a flip of the coin, similar with top forward as well for me personally, everyone. Yeah. Batten's gone with Spurs second. How much to do with the Champions League? I hope we clutch it over Manchester City. Eamon's gone with Spurs second. Obviously, Eamon did put Liverpool third. Interesting, mate. City have let too many good players leave. That's the thing, Helen, but they've got world-class players in every area, similar with Liverpool in terms of for me, City, you can talk about the players that they have lost, but in terms of the players that they have currently, they've still got a world-class player, 2 world-class players in every position, apart from probably, you'd say, your goalkeeper position for City. They're so strong in every area. Ricky's got where I hate all the oil teams, but this is the team I fear most this year. Chelsea, yes. I said it. Chelsea, everyone's underestimating how strong their team is. And I hate Tommy Tuchel. Yeah. They will be, as I said, I know I did finish. It swings and roundabouts. Chelsea wouldn't surprise me if they finish second. There's a lot of quality, and as I said, that's why I like doing these predictions. As I said, top of the show, don't take it too serious. It's only my thoughts, and I'll probably be 100% wrong with all these predictions. So it's just a bit of fun anyway. But I'm intrigued, most importantly, what you all think in terms of your predictions. But total football, 100%, mate. I really do love Conte as a coach anyway. Him, Klopp, Guardiola, absolutely phenomenal coaches. And I think if Conte can get 1 or 2 more players in before the window, I'd probably agree with a lot of you. Probably them finishing second. They've got the potential. Son, Kane as well. Kulusevski, obviously Perisic, a lot of quality. Basuma, I think, was the main one with Spurs as well. Chat won it. But yeah, I agree with total football. It's a huge risk with Haaland, in my opinion. Big step up from the Bundesliga. Nadia, most hyped player in English league, Grealish. I don't rate him. I respect your opinion, Ricky. I'd probably agree with you, but I've got a feeling Grealish should do well this season. I'm excited to see Alvarez proper going under the radar as well, and 100% there, mate. It's been intriguing. Another Argentinian. I tell you what, wouldn't surprise me in Manchester City pull off another Aguero in terms of next couple of years. Alvarez hits the ground running, but surprise, surprise. I think everyone jokes about Liverpool this year, but I think mainly due to the disappointments in which we were showed last year, Liverpool lacked an out-and-out number 9. We went through, it come out today that Jurgen Klopp did confirm that Sadio Mane did tell the club that he wanted to leave the football club a good 6 to 12 months prior to him leaving. That's why we bought Diaz in January. Núñez, Jota as well. Jota got, 15 goals in the Premier League last season? I know he's injured at the minute, but a lot of people are putting Jota under the radar. But I think Núñez will get the most vital goals, and he will be the main reason why Liverpool win the Premier League alongside Mohamed Salah. Salah will probably get Golden Boot, top assister as well in the Premier League. Diaz, he'll have a bit more, couple of months under his belt. He'll learn the language as well, Luis Diaz. But I'm hoping Liverpool come first. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's another Liverpool City job in terms of first. It's going to be very close chat as well. But let me know who your first prediction is as well, chat. I think a lot of you will have City, judging from all your predictions. Champions, the most successful team in England football. Enough said. Yeah. First is the one and only Liverpool. Klopp will go down in history this season. Anne's gone with Leicester. Go ahead, Anne. I love it. I love your confidence. Leicester. Carvalho will have Grealish in his back pocket all season. Top goal scorer in the league, Núñez. City first by 11 points or so. Interesting take there, Eamons. And as I will say with Manchester City, mate, it wouldn't surprise me because Erling Haaland, I think one of the biggest factors that you probably said there with City, mate. Erling Haaland, phenomenal footballer, as we mentioned. Alvarez, how he's going to play, it's only time will tell. But that's the third funniest thing I've saw all night. Salah, then Núñez. I wonder if Diaz is struggling to settle in. I don't think he is, Helen, by all accounts. But chat, let me know. We'll do a little recap anyway. But if you haven't already done so, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button down below as well. We've got a lot of shows planned. We will be having our City preview tomorrow, the big Community Shield game. But I'll be going through my 20th to 1st in a little second anyway. But most importantly, thank you to every single one of you that has tuned in tonight's episode. If you are watching on the repeat, absolute bloody legends as well. But we'll recap from 20th. I've gone with Leeds. Then we'll go with 19th, Bournemouth. Fulham, 18th. Everton, 17th. Forest, 16th. Southampton, 15th. Brentford, 14th. Leicester, 13th. Villa, 12th. Wolves, 11th. Crystal Palace, 10th. Brighton, 9th. Tsunami, 8th. West Ham and Skamaka finishing 7th. United, 6th. Timo Werner and the boys. Hopefully you get some goals this season. Arsenal, 4th. They'll let me down. They'll probably finish 6th or 7th this season. But Tottenham, who I know a lot of you have got Tottenham finishing 2nd, and 100% respected opinions as well. Everyone, I'm intrigued to see everyone's thoughts. But it wouldn't surprise me. The Spurs are going to have a much stronger season this year. Great signings in the window. And it wouldn't surprise me if they do come 2nd or challenge Liverpool or City. You've got Conte, as chat was already saying. World-class manager. And I've gone City. And I've gone Liverpool. Both Liverpool and City, I think it will be a point or two in it. But as chat was saying, it wouldn't surprise me if City run away with it, like they have done in certain years over the last couple of years. But chat, it's been enjoying it. It's gone for an hour and bloody 25 minutes. 17 of you in already. If you haven't already done so, make sure you are smashing that like button as well. Really does help the algorithm and everything. And most importantly, let's get to everyone's comments as well before we do shoot off. But let's get to one's comments. I've put 20 quid on Daka to be top goal scorer, and let me know the odds on that, mate. What are they? What are the odds on that? Chat, before Anne puts it in, what are you saying for Paston Zaka's odds? Probably about 20 to 1 or something. The Slickers out about Diaz. He's struggling to score. Be interesting, Paul. Interesting. Good night, Jack and chat. I'm off to bed. Busy day tomorrow. But Helen, most importantly, not just Helen, but every single one of you. Great show, Jack. Big up the chat and a good civilized bunch as well. 100%. As I said, I've got quite a lot of rival fans on as well that are close mates as well. And as I said, band to the side as well. There's a lot of great people in the community as well that we've built over the years. Absolutely fantastic bunch. If he's short of confidence, Paul, obviously saying good night. I don't like my predictions, but I'm trying to be honest with myself. 100% there, Raymond, and I understand where you're coming from, mate. There's a lot of and there will be a lot of question marks, especially if Nunes doesn't score in the first couple of games. He's quite reactionary in terms of social media as well. There's a lot of question marks over Nunes, but I'm hoping and praying that he will hit the ground running. But Bournemouth, Doug's on with Bournemouth 20th, Fulham 19th, and Southampton 18th. As I said on my Southampton prediction, I think I had them 15th or something, chat. Could go either way with Fulham anyway. Either way. Do you doing Fantasy Premier League this season, Jack? Yes, I am, Helen. There is my Fantasy Premier League code as well, Helen. So check that out. You can pause it and rewind it anyway. And Doug's gone with Ev 17th, Leeds 16th, Forest 14th, Brentford 13th, Wolves 12th, Brighton 12th, Brighton 11th, Villa 10th, Palace. That's mad. And tell you what, drinks on hand if that comes in anyway. Doug's predictions. I was being 100% there, everyone. But yeah, nice one for that, Muzz. I accept that as well. But chat, thank you to every single one of you that is tuned in. If you are watching on the repeat, let me know your 1 to 20 in terms of your Premier League predictions. Who's going to be getting top 4? Who's going to be in the relegation battle as well? But chat, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I really do appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. And some of my predictions are a bit mad. A lot of you probably disagree and go, oh, yeah. But everyone, I'm more interested in all your opinions and get them in the comment section below, most importantly as well. But Eamon, cheers, matey, as well. Safe 1.5 in my bag for that. Can you put that code back? Yeah, I can, Helen. And chat, if you are, as I said, there will be a fantasy football show out every single week. But there you go, Helen, or anyone that's got fantasy football. Just to close us out anyway, if you want to join the fantasy football, that is BWN2EU as well, Helen. You can rewind that and pause it as well. So, chat, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to every single one of you that has tuned in. You absolute bloody legends. But I'll see you very soon, everyone. We will have our Manchester City preview show out tomorrow. Cannot wait to do that. It's going to be an exciting game. Two very talented football teams, as we know. A lot of quality on the pitch. And can't wait. Football is back very soon. But chat, see you later. And you never walk alone. See you tomorrow for the City build-up.